Boker Tov. Today we're going to make pita. But before we do that, and I'm going to tell you more about why we're making pita today, but let's do the other things we need to do first. So, first thing, we have to make sure that our hands are clean. I washed mine, and you can wash yours. And then I'm going to put on my apron, as I always do. And you can put yours on if you want. And then I'm going to make sure that I have everything we need for making pita. Pita is really simple. You don't need much. You just need flour, yeast, salt, hot water, and a tiny bit of olive oil. So, to start our pita, you are going to pour your yeast in a little bowl and add the hot water. Now, I did that already, and I know that you all know how to do that. So, I'm just going to show you. I set that up like that, and I'm going to pour it into this big bowl now. And then I'm going to add the flour, and I'll add the salt. And I'll show you how much flour and how much salt I'm using. But here goes one cup here, and I'm leveling this too. And here goes 2 cups. And then it's probably about a half cup, and I'm just going to be kind of approximate with that. And then I'm going to add the salt, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons. There goes 1. And, ooh, that's why I did it over the table, because it's more than I need. I'm just going to put it right there. There goes 2. Okay. I'm going to start to stir this up. And it's kind of like making challah or making focaccia. You want to get a nice kind of firm dough, not too sticky, but you also don't want to add too much flour because you don't want it to get overly dry. And wow, this dough just stirred up so fast. I think it needs just a little bit more flour. So when you're doing it, you know, you just kind of look and you think, oh, maybe a little more. That's okay. There. Now, that actually looks pretty decent. So I'm going to take it out and knead it a little bit. And while I do that, I'm going to tell you about why I like to make pita so much right now. So when we're at Ben's, I like to make pita all the time, anytime. It's a really fun thing to do. So here, I'm taking it out, and I'm just going to knead it for a little bit. And that's really fun. While I knead it, let me tell you. But the reason I like making pita so much right now is because it's almost Passover. And later this week, we're going to be making matzah. And making matzah and making pita are really, really similar. They have the same ingredients except for one really important thing. Pita uses yeast, and matzah has no yeast. So you all know a lot about yeast. You know that when we start with it, it's dry and tiny, and then we add hot water to wake it up, and then it starts to explode. It starts having teeny little explosions and gets bigger and bigger, and then we add it to our dough, and it makes the dough get softer and puffier and bigger. Well, this is pita, and when we make our matzah later this week, you're going to see that it's very much the same thing, but it's totally flat. Okay, I kneaded it this much. You can knead yours more if you want. And now I'm going to put it back in this bowl, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit of olive oil in just to coat the bowl a little bit, which you can do if you want. I'm just putting a teeny bit in. And I'm going to put this ball back in, and it's going to sit for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. It doesn't really matter. It's just going to rise. And then we'll come back and we'll make the actual pitas.